I do what I'm told to do. I come in here and I do my stuff and then I leave. I said, I
Yeah.
said, and if that should happen, then that's what it's meant to be. Like, but I was done dealing. I
Yeah.
was done dealing. I'm going, no, I'm doing something else. Benefits until it cuts off. So, okay, everybody,
Everybody go use it
go
all.
use it all. Get glasses. Get
Yeah.
2 pairs each. Get all those
Yeah.
things done and out of the way. I'm in Zule Eats. It's on Howard Avenue, 2760 Howard. Which is right on Howard and Edinburgh. I mean, everybody goes to Devonshire Mall, and if you're on Howard, you cannot miss us.
Chef Zule is a Windsor-based entrepreneur, community advocate, and the visionary behind Zule Eats, a well-loved food brand bringing the rich flavors of West Africa to Windsor, Essex. Originally from Ghana and a proud Windsor resident for over 25 years, Zule sees food as a powerful way to bring people together and create meaningful connections. Her contributions have been recognized nationally, including being named one of Canada's top 100 Black women to watch. Above all, Zule is a dedicated mother, business owner, and storyteller using food to unite cultures and create a sense of belonging. All right, welcome back to another episode of Cracking the Success Vault here with Spectre Group. Today we are joined by Chef Zule Ankama. Thank you very much for your time today. I'm really excited to talk about this. I love food. We're going to talk a little bit about business, about food, and everything else. But before we kind of dive too deep into it, why don't you tell all the listeners a little bit about yourself? You're originally from Ghana, which is West Africa. And when did you come here? Why did you come?
For having me, and I am born and raised in Ghana. I came to Canada in the early 90s, so 91 to be specific.
Okay.
And like I said, born and raised, both paternal, maternal, grandmothers were all foodpreneurs. So food has always been in my background. Right now, Zule is in Windsor, Ontario. I'm a mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. Did almost everything being an immigrant, to just survive. But I did, my last employment was with Caesars Windsor when we started in 94, 95. Well, I started with 95 and 25 years in. Then it became Zule Eats.
Yeah.
With COVID, being laid off, kind of figured I got to find another way of making a living. So
Yeah.
this became the baby, which was the brainwork of my children, believe it or not. They started this, Mom, you got to, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?
I mean, listening to your story when we chatted was so unique to like just take advantage of an opportunity when one presented itself, and it wasn't something that you were wanting to do or truly desired to do. It was more of circumstances, and then your kids just kind of were like, listen, like you're good at this, and everybody loves it, so why don't you just try to do it, right? So let's back up a little bit. So you come here in 91. And when you moved here, did you move here by yourself? Was it with your parents? And why did you guys come here? I'm assuming typical
meeting a man and then moving to Canada.
Yeah.
So my ex-husband, he was already here in Windsor for about 10 years, a little over 10 years. And we met, and that's how I migrated over here.
You knew each other beforehand. He went.
No. He did come home.
Okay.
And then that's when we met, and then we started dating long distance.
Yeah.
But eventually, we decided to get married. Came back home, got married, and then and then I followed suit later to come start our family and
And so once you get here, what was the expectation? What was the, just find a good job, make a living, take care of family? And I know you got into Caesars through the story was funny about how you got into Caesars and what you thought you were applying for. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, coming into Canada for the first time, living here, migrating, it's a bit of a cultural shock, you know.
Mm.
And with the intent that, and it was like, okay, you going to school because he was already at the university, almost done. And he goes, okay, and then it's gonna be your turn. But I had a baby. This life happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's work, and then and school. Did my pastries in St. Clair. Just and then doing stuff on the side and just working and going along with it. And I worked at the Holiday Inn Select, which is on here in Church. Back then, it was called the Comfort Inn. It wasn't called
Okay.
so Comfort Inn, and then Windsor got approved to have a casino. So here, all their HR work was being done at the hotel at Holiday Inn. That was when they were, training people and all that stuff. So I was like, I think I want to do this switch. I'm getting really interested in this casino thing. So postings came up, and they wanted a porter, and I'm going, I'm thinking a porter because here, Ghana used to be a British colony, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
So a porter meant something different from what those people from Vegas brought to Windsor. Meaning a porter was a janitor, which I didn't know then. So I'm going for an interview, all dressed up, scared suit, all ready for it, and looking like, you don't know what a porter is. Nope. And I was honest. I said, no, I didn't know what a porter was. It wasn't back then where, you had Google and everything and you could go search the company and find out what things are. No, it wasn't like that. So I just went in blindly. But you know what? They were very gracious. They told me, you know what? You could go this way. That is not what it is. But once you get in the company, you could move to any department that you want.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And just went into table games. I like tables.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting story in and of itself. But I like the fact that you went to apply for something that you didn't really truly know what it was. You thought you knew what it was, but it wasn't. But you took the opportunity anyways,
Yes.
right? Which I find a lot of people don't do. They don't take the opportunities that are in front of them because it's not what they thought, or it doesn't pay them enough, or whatever the case may be, when in reality, it's a foot in the door to something bigger down the road.
Exactly.
Right? And so you took this opportunity, and they basically said, once you get through the 90 days, you can apply for anywhere. Yeah. And so you started looking. The moment you got hired, you were like, I'm going to make it 90 days. This is not a problem. What do I want to do? Yeah. And what made you want to choose tables?
I talked to because they already had dealers in there. They had all the different sections. I looked at slots. I looked at tables. I'm like, that is what I want to do. I spoke to some managers, some of the dealers. It was just fascinating. I just love it. And I love to interact with people. I don't think I'll be good in an office. I think I'm going to go crazy. I always want to interact with people. So right away, I signed up for a dealer's course, which was right on Olet Avenue. So I was going to work or going early to school, then do my afternoon shift. And as soon as I was done school, the Northern Bell. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Northern Bell. Okay, so we had the Northern Bell, which was a riverboat casino. It was right on the river, Detroit River. So with that coming in, they needed even more employees for every department. So it was like boom, boom, got into Porter's, just passed it, and then here comes table games. My certificate was ready, and I applied for it, and I got right into it. And again, talking about opportunities, getting into it, it was only part-time. And here I was leaving a full-time position with benefits to go part-time. But I was like, you know what? I know it's not going to last. I'm going to get full. And sure enough, I was part-time for about 3 months. Yeah. When full-time opportunities opened up, and I jumped right in.
And so did you do anything else during that part-time opportunity, knowing that you were going from full-time to part-time, not knowing how long this was going to last? Yeah. Did you decide to do anything else during that time, or was it just strictly that?
No, it was. Although it's part-time and you are not getting benefits, you could pay, I think it's 50 cents an hour to get partial benefits. And then on top of that, although you are scheduled, they call you part-time, but they'll schedule you 3 or 4 days a week. And then you could pick up
The rest.
the rest. So part-time, but I was working 5 days a week.
Right.
I could work 6 if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Yeah. And then you stayed there for how long?
I was part-time for maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
Things were moving. The casino was crazy busy. We were the only casino in this whole area.
Yeah.
No Detroit, no Ohio. We were busy. So they were constantly hiring more people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you got full-time
I got
tables.
full-time table games, yeah.
And how long did you stay full-time tables?
Full-time tables, I was there till I left in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, so I stayed in that department, and so I dealt for 20 years, and then again I was like, oh, it's time to move on. So I applied for management, and I got to be a supervisor, and then a year later, a pit manager position opened up. I'm going, yeah, go for it, girl. And then again, I did that. So I left there as a dual pit manager.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And so, were there any ever like doubts or fears about getting the management position or getting the pit boss position, like any of that kind of stuff? Or was it just, you know what, it's an opportunity, I'll just put my name forward?
It is, and I know like a lot of people, oh, you're getting out of the union. They could fire you whenever they want. You need the union to back you. I go, I never do anything wrong. I've never used the union. Like, I do what I'm told to do. I come in here and I do my stuff and then I leave. I said, and if that should happen, then that's what it's meant to be. Like, but I was done dealing. I'm going, no, I'm doing something else now.
Yeah, it's interesting that that's a big mentality here. And I don't really know it. Coming from Alberta, we don't really have unions for the most part. I mean, you do in, healthcare and some trades, but they're not as big as they are here in Ontario.
Windsor, especially Windsor, Detroit, it's a union cities.
Yeah, and I don't really understand it, I guess, because I'm very similar to you. Is like, I'm not going to do anything wrong. I'm not going to jeopardize anything. I feel like, and maybe this is just my own kind of like naivety, I guess, is I feel like the union is not there sometimes to protect the person, as sometimes it's the company, sometimes it's both, and sometimes it's like, what are they even doing? But for like what you're paying for, it doesn't seem like there's as many benefits. And maybe it's just because I've been self-employed for so long. I have no idea. I deal with the goods and the bad, and they all teach me something regardless. But
that's the thing, just learning from them.
Yeah. And so this whole time that you're working at the casino, basically 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
Where did the idea to start Zule Eats come from?
Well, I have always loved cooking. And because going somewhere and bringing something, and then eventually people go, oh, can you make this? So I had a side hustle of doing cakes, dessert tables, stuff like that. And the idea of Zule Eats came from my kids because I was bored staying at home. I have always been on the go. And then here COVID happened. And we thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks. And then it kept dragging. And the casino was the first place to shut down.
Yeah.
The very first place to go down. So here I'm like, okay. And serve kicks in. And I'm going, this doesn't cut it. It doesn't even pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
So I got to do something. I'm going, said, yeah, the banks are calling, but I don't want to defer my mortgage.
Yeah.
That is something that I don't want to do at all. So I'm going to pay my mortgage and we'll figure it out. And that is when, having this conversation with the kids, my daughter's going, Mom, people love your food.
Yeah.
When they were little, we had their birthday parties. Kids still talk about that. They'll come and go, Zule, remember me? We do this birthday or this person's birthday because I still remember this. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And my daughter then had moved out, young professional. And she goes, Mom, like her husband now, she goes, we order out once a week. And among our friends, it's like, we don't even order enough. So I know a lot of people who order in a lot. So you could make, some side hustle from this. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I go, well, you know the people right now. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, we'll do this.
I'll make the
So
food. She
I'll
gets
make the
to
food and do
run
it.
everything else.
And that was it, just by word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, let me call the health unit, because I work with AGCO, and I mean, their screening is tough, and we did that every year you did, but every 4 years you did the whole thing, fingerprints, you name it, background check.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, because even a parking ticket could hinder your gaming license.
Right.
Yes. So I'm like, let me call the health unit, find out what the rules are, and they were like, no, there's meat product. No, you cannot. Or no, you can't. You need a commercial kitchen, or you could build a kitchen. You could build a separate kitchen in your house.
Yeah.
But you cannot use your family kitchen
Yeah.
for that. But I'm laid off. How am I gonna get money to do any renovations to put a kitchen in my house? So
Yeah.
I always say things were lined up. I am a person of faith, and things were lined up because okay, we knew a few people who own restaurant. Go call Tina, and a couple of friends of ours who own the Mama Burger. Call Tina and Ryan, see if you could use their kitchen. We called and they go, oh, sure, you could use our kitchen. And at that same moment, another group had started. It was a new business, a food incubator. It's called Cook Up Inc. And they're a food incubator. So we happened to find them too. And they go, oh, yeah, we do that. We could help grow each other's business. Sure, let's do this.
Yeah.
So that was it. And then, well, I didn't know anything about social media.
Yeah.
My daughter was like, how would make you an Instagram account, a Facebook account, you name this account, that account. And it just
blew up.
Just word of mouth. And back then too, we had to do the deliveries.
Yeah.
I got to know Windsor a lot more because there were streets I've never had. But the order will come in, and so you have to go drop it off.
Yeah. So you were doing everything. You were making
oh my
food.
God, making food.
You were delivering food when needed. Everything.
And delivering for free. Like those during COVID, that was lockdown.
Yeah.
You had to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, the kitchen, they only served dinner. So the head cook comes in at 2:00 and the chef too. So from that time to 2:00, I had the whole kitchen to myself. And all they needed is we were gone by 4, because by 3:40, the rest of the staff keeps coming in and it gets kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
So I had all that time for the kitchen. I mean, it was great. The only thing with using a ghost kitchen is you can't leave stuff there.
Yeah.
So you're loading and unloading
Constantly.
and loading it. Yeah, that was a little tough. But we started that, and that was 2020.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really interesting to see. I love the fact that you say that you're a person of faith, because I think for a lot of people, they don't understand that through difficult times, through uncertain times, is also sometimes like a light at the end of the tunnel if you're willing to look for it.
If you look,
Right. You can't just be like, it's really hard, we'll figure it out, and then, go sit on the couch.
Go sit and do nothing.
Do nothing. You got to be able to talk to people and figure it out and problem solve, and maybe, put yourself in uncomfortable positions of asking people that you don't know what to do and what not to do, and asking for advice. And I find it with anything, whether it's a person's finances aren't in the right place, or, their business acumen isn't there, or they're struggling in their business, growing it. If you just ask for help, there's so many beneficial things that can come from it. But you have to be willing to ask for it. Put your hand up, right? Have a little bit of faith, but at the same time, go work for it.
And that's the thing. And especially like where I'm from in Ghana, people just want to pray and don't do anything about it. I go, no, it says prayer, faith, and action. You got to take action. You can't just pray and wait for stuff to drop from above. You got to take action. You got to do your part.
Yeah.
You pray. I say you pray for wisdom. You pray for clarity, to see the things around you and what you need to do. Right? But don't just pray and sit there and do nothing. You have to. And it's not easy. I keep telling people, it's not easy.
No. That's the faith part, though. That's the faith part. You have to, it's not working out right now, but if I just keep going, it will work itself out
Yes.
sooner or later.
Yes.
Right.
So long as you don't give up, you got to
Right.
keep going. I said you get if you get knocked down, you got to get back up.
Yeah.
If you stay down there, so when you're up and you get knocked down, don't think that's the end, because you were able to get up. So keep getting up.
Right. Yeah. Get up as many times as you have to. Right. And so how's the business going now? So you started in 2020, a little bit more of a side hustle project to make some money during COVID. Now you guys have a location, right? Just the one
Just the one.
on Walker Road. She's like, just one. I don't want another one, she says.
On Howard.
On
It's
Howard.
on Howard,
Yes,
yeah,
not
yeah.
Howard, not Walker, Howard. And you mentioned that one of your children actually works for you full time.
Full time.
And how's that been going since 2020, expanding to where you are today?
It is going good because 2020, so we started 2020, 2021, we got into the downtown Windsor Farmers Market. That was where we got the biggest exposure. And that was when I said, whoa, okay, this is it. I'm not going back to the casino. Like, this is it. Yeah. I'm going to put both foot in this and keep going. I'm not. Yeah. The farmers market, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
There's a lot of exposure that happens down at the farmers market.
Yes.
I mean, my wife and I go quite often, always see some new pop-ups.
New ones.
Typically we go to get March 21.
Ooh, and there's such an awesome family. Love them.
Yeah, Ben's great.
Yeah.
We always see everything and then we go and stop in for food and go home.
Food, yeah.
But so why was the food market, why was the downtown market such an exposure for you guys?
Well, especially for me, I had working midnights. I mean, the last 18 years, out of that 25 years, I worked grave shift.
Wow.
Straight grave shifts. So, I mean, getting off and going I never went to the farmer's market. Didn't even know what was going on down there. And then this happened, and then we are there. It brings people from all over. And during COVID, that was the only gathering probably that was happening because it opened and people were coming from the county, everywhere. Yeah. So that really helped us. And of course, we got a great product. Like, I put everything in that product. So, I mean, you try that pie, there is no way you're not coming back.
Yeah.
It was funny. You see somebody, and it's okay because it's a product, people don't know about it. It's new, it's foreign, I would say. So we still do a lot of educating when it comes to our products because people don't know it. Yeah. And they go, oh, okay, maybe I'll just take one to try. They don't even go 100 feet. They come right back. Oh my God, give me 3 more. Oh my God. So I was like, this is it.
Yeah. And so sold out the first time.
Oh my God, the first day we were sold out in no time.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting it.
No time. Nope. Although like Cook Up Inc., although those guys were like, you know what, you got to be prepared for the farmers market. It gets very busy, but you still don't know how much preparation. So I was like, okay, these are frozen products. And that's the good thing about frozen products. Go, let's take whatever we have. If we don't, it's coming back. They're in coolers with ice. And it blew us away.
Wow. And then since then, so 2020, start 2021, farmers market with a big kind of growth expansion, more people knowing about you. Yeah. When did you guys get your location on Howard?
2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like the following year.
Yeah,
just right away.
Year. Yeah, because we needed more product. We needed a permanent space because, again, we're using the ghost kitchen back and forth. But then things were opening up. Right, so the restaurants were getting busier as well. So we're like, okay, we got to find our own space and then do that. And then we started with just the meat pies, and then we added our snacks, which we call chips back home, but they are snacks. They're made out of pastry, and then we seasoned it. And that also came. I wasn't even thinking about that. We got invited to a bar that was on Zule. It doesn't exist anymore, but I think it was called Pressure Drop.
Yes, I recognize the name.
Yeah, it was called Pressure Drop, and they invited us. They go, we need a food vendor. We think your product is great. And like, sure. She goes, oh, do you have anything else besides the pies? something. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we do have, like, we have munchies that, we use. So I could bring some to go, okay, that would be great. So then I was working with Chef Ryan because I was using his kitchen. So he came and go, hey, chef. I go, I don't go to bars. I go, what are bar food? What are typical bar flavors? He goes, oh, bar flavors, it's spicy, salty, vinegar. I'm going, oh, okay, great. He goes, why? I go, this is what's going on. So, but back home, we have the traditional one. It's just plain. But they want the product at the bar, and I want to make it
Bar food.
bar food.
Right.
So he goes, well, then you're looking spicy, vinegar, salty. I'm like, okay. So then I started playing around with some of the recipes, and I came up with jalapeno cheddar, which is got a little bit of a kick to it. And then at that time, I did salt and vinegar. But I didn't like it, so that didn't last long. I took it back out because I have to like something to put it out there for. I was like, nah. The kids were like, Mom, people like vinegar. People actually open sachets of vinegar and put on their chips.
I'm that guy.
Oh, you're like,
I'm that guy.
I was like, nah, I can't. So I took that out.
Okay.
But then over the years, we've had cinnamon sugar, we've had garlic parmesan. And so what we do is we'll do a trial and see how people respond to it.
Yeah.
And cinnamon sugar took out. And we did a garlic palm, we brought it in, we took it out. People kept asking, we brought it in, we took it, they kept asking, we go, okay, let's bring it back, let it stay. And so those are the flavors that are doing very good, very good. So bringing me back to our storefront, so we finally found a space of our own, which also gave us the opportunity to introduce more of our flavors.
Right.
Like we have our rice dishes now, which is jollof rice. Have you tried jollof rice?
Not yet.
Ooh, Sean, I should have
know.
brought you. Well, we don't open today. I should have brought you jollof rice.
I was planning on sometime this week coming by.
Yeah, so jollof rice is rice, but instead of being cooked in water, it's cooked in a tomato-based stew.
Okay.
So it's got lots of flavor. So we brought that in. We brought our fufu. We got soups. So having our own space gave us even a lot. And then now we could even do catering. We do corporate and private catering.
Right.
Which
and that's something that, so I'm assuming it's sort of the natural progression of a business, right?
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere, get in your door, stay profitable.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get past, the first 3 years, because most businesses fail by then, and then keep going.
Especially food
Right.
business.
Especially food
is
business.
6. Food, they say 5 to 6.
Yeah. And so the general progression was, side business.
Yeah.
Then it went to markets, bigger audience,
Yeah.
your own space. Once you get your
Still
own space,
doing the
it's now
markets.
opening new products,
Yep.
still doing the markets. And then you pushed into corporate events and stuff like that. So that was that just your next level of, okay, I think we can handle more, or we need to find more ways for revenue? Like, what was the reason for the corporate stuff? Just more revenue?
More revenue, because with food, with any business, you don't just want one source of revenue. You have to have multiple sources of revenue. So you say, we're doing this. I think Hiram Walker was the first company to approach us to see, and that was actually even during COVID. And they wanted something for their employees, and I was like, sure, yes, we can do it. And then we pulled it off. That was our first big, and Hiram Walker is a big company.
Yeah.
And we did, and they all had to be individually bagged and everything.
Wow.
And we did that. And then they came up back to us a few times, so which was
And
good.
so
So we started with Hiram Walker.
If someone's listening to this and they want a corporate event, they want to try the food, what size of an event, what type of an event are you kind of trying to go after? I mean, are you trying to do the 200 people type events and weddings, or are you just sticking to more 30, 50 kind of people corporate type events?
Oh no, we've done the 200.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done
All
the
sizes.
200, so it's all sizes. And then we've done the girls getting together in somebody's house, just bringing a few things to, so we go from there to big to medium size. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we have, and then we do festivals.
Right.
Yeah, so we organize and host the Ghanaian Village, Carousel of the Nations.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done it. This will be our 4th year. So
Nice.
doing that. So we do that, and and we supply all the food and everything.
And so what's next for you guys then? So now you've grown, you've technically been in business for 5 years, so going on 6 now. You've got your own space, you've got your own product, you're doing events. What's next? How are you going to grow this bigger? Are you thinking second location? Are you thinking just more options for people? Is it more of a trying to get my revenue to a certain place first? Like from a business perspective, you're not going to try to go too quickly. That can hurt a business. But what are you thinking the next few options are for you?
Well, our few options, it's other, because right now we do, like, I don't do it as big, but I have a few clients that we cater their meals by the week. So they bring in their order for the week, and then we prep it and we portion it and they pick it up. So
oh wow,
by this Thursday, I should get their orders in for next week. So but right now we only got 5 of them, and we kept it that way. But I'm looking to, because we've outgrown our space, honestly. We're like pushing. So I'll probably need a little bigger place, get a couple more help, and then expand that part, meal preps.
Right.
To add that to
meal prepping. Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be, we're doing it at a small scale, but we want to actually
right.
It. So that is my next.
Right. So now you're looking for a new space, a little bit bigger.
Hopefully.
Going to hire maybe another person or two to help.
To help, yeah. But we're going to need more help, yeah.
And so what was it like then? Because I know that obviously I've been in business for myself for 15 years. I've had friends both in Alberta and here. They love us. They care about us. They also don't want to see us fail. But also people, not that they're trying to hold us back, but they just don't want to see us hurt. And so a lot of the time people are like, well, don't do that. Why? When you were starting this out, you mentioned to me that there were quite a number of people either at Caesars that you were working with being like, are you really sure that you want to do this?
Yeah.
How was that? Like, how did you take it from them? Was it more of like, I'll just forget about them? Or did you really consider that maybe what they're saying is true? Like, how did you kind of deal with that? Because I know that, part of the problem with starting a business, or the challenge with starting a business, is profitability. Can I pay my bills? Can I pay my staff? Can I do all those things? What was that like for you in this process of expanding, going from what you were making to running a business?
Yeah. I don't I honestly understood where they were coming from, right? Anybody will say that, what, you're at this position at the casino, you're going to lose all this income, your benefits, your pension, all that stuff. But I had already done. I always like to say, ask for help, talk to people. I already discussed this with my financial advisor. That was something that we sat down to do. She knows the numbers, So she pulled it out and they say, you know what? Yeah, I think you can do this. You can do this. You might not be able to go on a lot of vacations, but maybe 1 or 2. I'm going right now. I only get 1, sometimes none. So if I can get 2, I'll take it. Yeah, I had already done the work. The kids. First of all, it's the kids. I go, you know what? This is what I'm thinking. I want to quit my job, but if I quit, this is what's going to happen. We don't have benefits. We are a very healthy bunch. All that I know, even with the casino, and the casino had great benefits. I think all that we ever used were glasses and dental. We never really used anything. So I'm like, okay, then this is what's going to happen.
It's not a huge loss.
It is not a huge loss. And then I spoke to my dentist, and he goes, you know what? He goes, you don't have any problems with your teeth. He goes, all you might need is 2 cleanings a year. And I had already looked into Costco insurance. So I was like, do you think I should buy? He goes, you really don't need it. He goes, it's only going to cost you about $250 each cleaning. And I mean, it's 2 cleanings a year. So, I did talk to people that I needed to talk to. The kids were on board. They were like, Mom, benefits until it cuts off. So you can do this. Let's do it.
Everybody go use it all.
Get glasses, get 2 pairs each. Get all those things done and out of the way. Benefits until it cuts off. So Okay, everybody,
Everybody go use it all.
go use it all. Get glasses.
Yeah.
Get 2 pairs each. Get all those
Yeah.
things done and out of the way. And we have been, but and I said that little bit time of being during COVID also taught me that I could live on very little.
Mm.
We made all this money, but
Before.
yeah, but we could live on very little, and we changed our lifestyle, the way we lived and the way we. And besides, I go, you know what? I'm gonna be in polo shirts. I'm not gonna need dry cleaning for my suit. Though it's funny that even some of our coworkers during COVID will go, "Oh, I'm saving on lip gloss. I'm saving on this. I'm saving because you don't have to make. We're home.
Yeah.
So
Who are you trying to impress?
and that's what I'm saying. But you know what? I don't need all those things, and so I'm saving here. I'm saving there. I'm saving there. And we made it. I said, I promise. I told them, I said, I promise you, we never be homeless and we never go hungry.
Yeah.
And they were on board. There's such kids that came right on board. And
I mean, I didn't have a family when I started. For me, it was like, if I have to live in my car for what I will, like, I just don't care. It's just me. That was kind of the mentality I had, is I'm just going to keep doing it till I win.
So you win.
But having, single mom, 4 kids, it's got to feel pretty good to know that they were on board with you as well.
Yeah, very, very much on board. And I told them too, I go, this is a lot of work. I'm going to need all your help, and every one of them. Like I was telling my oldest daughter, she works full time, but she calls every evening. Like, it's funny, every evening. Okay, so how was your day? And we have a little bit of time to talk about Zule Eats, and then we cut it off. And then after that, if we talk, it doesn't have to do with work.
Right.
It's just about, she will check in every day.
And so what is when you guys talk about the business then? It's really, my business partner and I are like that, like every day. It's like there's got to be at least a little bit of time where we talk about just the things that are going on.
Yeah.
The stokes that everybody has in the fire. Yeah. And when we don't do that, because either he's busy or I'm busy, we're both busy for a few days, it's like, okay, we need to actually sit down like an hour and be like, okay, what happened in the last 5 days? Because we haven't seen each other. Yeah. What kind of things do you and your daughter then talk about from the business perspective of, like, she's obviously helping you manage things, and she's the one that was doing the social media for you and all that. So what are the kind of things that you guys talk about then?
Well, we talk about just about everything. If there are emails that had to be answered, she go, did you do it? Because we all get to go in the email. My son checks it because I'm in the kitchen, and I always tell people, I go, you send me emails, gotta wait till the next day to get a reply. Yeah, because it's not me, because I gotta be in the kitchen. So he will check, he will go through it. I think in the middle of the day, just if something is very, very important and I have to hit it right away, then he'll star it and go, Mom, you gotta. And if there's something that he could answer, somebody asking for catering, whatever, then he can take care of it. Right. And if not, then it waits for me to. And certain things too, my daughter can answer them. She'll go ahead on her time and do it. Right. And then it's like, just how was the day? How was sales? But again, with sales, she could go in Square and pull the report and look at everything. But we'll talk, so how was your day? Anything? Yeah. I mean, you deal with people, right? So sometimes things happen. Sometimes she'll even see something before I do, because she goes, oh, there is a Google review, you got to check. I'm going, she's on her break or something. She already checked it. Okay, Mom, there's a Google review. I think you got to go check it out. She would do that. So we talk about all that, her siblings, if anything, like I always say she's in HR, so she keeps me in complete, something goes, hey, this came up. Yeah. Okay, wages are going up. All those information, she'll let me know right away before I even get to anything. Yeah.
And is it something that for people who run similar businesses, I'll call them either retail or food and all those kinds of things, that it's very business to consumer. You need to kind of know your numbers, right? You need to know what the cost of things are. You need to know how many you have to sell every day. You need to know, are these things that like you're constantly thinking about every day? Obviously the business can have the ebbs and the flows. My business partner and I are the same. What's our bottom line? What do we have to do every month? What do we have to do to get everybody paid, et cetera? So we talk a lot about numbers. Is that something that you and your daughter then talk a lot about most of the time?
We do. We talk about that. And the one thing along the way is once I decided to do this full time, I also signed up with the Small Business Center because, like I said, I love cooking, but I never ran a business. So I wanted to learn more about the side of that. So some of our courses, knowing your break evens, and actually, I always say that really helped me in getting the spot that I got before going to brick and mortar because it was always in my head, like, so that you're not going for something that you can't pay for it. So,
Right.
learning all that through the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Center did help me knowing that, okay, this is the square footage that I am looking at. That's where I feel comfortable
Right.
as we're moving in now. So that has always been there. And I think at one point I was getting too much into it because then I'll talk to some of my mentors and go, oh, but this they only got it goes, okay, looking at it daily is really gonna drive you nuts. Well, why don't you wait and look at it weekly?
Right.
Because and that helped because sometimes the foot traffic is not there. But then we do the markets and the
And it is
events and that so I was like, but honestly it took me a while to bring that in
Yeah.
and go because learning in class that no you had got to have this much every day
Right.
to make it and I wasn't making it. I was but then like you said then another day it's like like triple that day
Right.
like
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting part about business, right? Is it's so like you can't look at one day and say, "Oh, we're going to have a bad year," because you could go Monday, Tuesday not sell something, Wednesday sell something, Thursday, Friday not sell anything, Saturday sell enough to cover the entire week.
Exactly.
Right? So I think every business has to find their own call it schedule their numbers, knowing the numbers, whatever. You need to know your numbers, but you also need to not be so tied to the numbers on a daily basis that you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Because
a daily basis
will drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Then you're not focused on the product. You're not focused on your customers. You're not focused on anything but the numbers, and that will drive you crazy.
Exactly.
And if you just put the people first and the product first, the numbers will come.
The number is,
over the course of time.
It will. It will. And what was I going to do? There was something else I was going to mention. It just skipped me. I mean, learning as you go. Like I think I have a class today, an online class today. Like I'm constant because you have to. Yeah. You can feel comfortable and go, I know it or no. And especially food. Like things change so quickly. Things that they love this month, next month they move on to the trends. Right now, this day and age, keeping up with those trends. Yeah. And then, of course, with the cost of grocery and everything.
Yeah.
It's changing constantly.
Yeah.
You go to the wholesale club, something that you bought yesterday, it's up $3 the following week. You go to Costco. And it's hard for our small businesses and it's food. You can't keep changing your prices.
Correct.
Nobody's gonna show up. Right. You can. So
every day if it's a different price,
Yeah. So this particular time, honestly, March, April, it's been a juggle. Like wow.
Just because of cost of things.
Just cost of things. Yeah. Just cost of because everything. And it's from packaging to everybody. All these suppliers are sending in new prices, and you're looking at them and you're going, okay. How am I gonna get that out of the food?
Yeah. So what's the idea then? So obviously things change, the war that's going on and the global conflict that will, it ebbs and flows and it will always go every other year. Yeah. Something happens somewhere and that causes prices to go up and stuff. Like as a small business, where are you finding, what are mentors talking about where you can make up that price? Because it's not just as easy as go sell more stuff.
No.
It's not that easy.
No.
Right? And I'm in a business where I don't have that problem. I don't have a tangible product per se. Yeah. Financial services is helping people, save money, get insurance, and the price is the price, and it doesn't get changed based on global conflict, right? It's just, it is what it is. What are you guys seeing as the restaurant world, as the small business? Where are you able to make that up when things change so drastically, so quickly?
You know what? And that is the thing, right? You cannot. So what most of us, like I spoke to some of my friends too, is you have to just, some items have to stay the same. Some items you just cannot put it up any higher.
Right.
Right. And then just little increases. It has to be little, but they have to be an increase.
Right.
You cannot just not. And then we can do that every month. So if this month maybe I'm gonna raise the chips, and then next month maybe I'm gonna raise the soup a little.
Right.
So just different items and different times.
Right. Not everything all at once.
Not everything at once. Just make it gradually, and and then do that. But for me in particular, the events, like outdoor events, the festivals and stuff. And I realized people didn't even know that we pay for those events.
Yeah. Yeah, most people who go to them, if they don't run a business, they don't realize that you have to pay to put up a booth.
Yes.
So you have to be able to sell enough to get that back first, and that's the hope.
Exactly, yeah.
Before you even make anything.
Exactly, you are already down. So for our events, the pricing for our events are different than the pricing for the storefront.
Okay.
Because we got to make up for that money.
Right.
Right. So that is what I do to kind of.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I never actually really thought about it that.
Yeah.
I knew that the vendors pay to be at the events.
Yeah.
But I never really thought that the price at the event would be actually different than the storefront price.
Yeah, well, they should.
That makes sense.
And those who don't, then you're losing a lot of money. Yeah.
Right, because you have to make up for it.
You have to make up for it. And some of these events, they're $700-800.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Crazy.
So you have to adjust your pricing to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course it's a festival too, so you have more employees out there. I mean, it's cost, right? But it's fun. Like, I love being out there. I love doing it. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing that after having coffee, the thing that I really loved about your story is like you absolutely look like you just absolutely love what you're doing, regardless of the fact that prices change and there's challenges and problems that come with running a business, but you love it. Yeah. Did you always love what you did, like even at Caesars? Because you have a high energy about you.
Yeah, even at Caesars, I honestly enjoyed my job and made a lot of connections out there. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And here is the thing I always tell people, I mean, why are you going to go to work? Because we spend a lot more time with our coworkers than we did with our families.
Right.
So you're there 10 hours, although you think you're working 8 hours ago, you got how many breaks all in between. You might as well have fun. Have to have fun. And when you have fun, and that's the thing with the casino, it is an entertainment industry. Somebody is there, they've brought their hard-earned money to have fun, although they want to make money.
Sure.
But at least let them have fun.
Right.
And I used to hear that, go, oh, Zule always takes my money, but I have fun playing with her. Let them have fun. That's what we're there for, to entertain them. Yeah. So I always had a ball. Yeah. Always had a ball. But.
That's interesting. Well, we're getting near time. Before I ask our final question, is there anything that you want to sort of tell anybody about where you are, or what you do, where they can find you?
Yes. Okay, so we are, Zule Eats is on Howard Avenue, 2760 Howard, which is right on Howard and Edinburgh. I mean, everybody goes to Devonshire Mall, and if you're on Howard, you cannot miss us. We are there. We are open Tuesdays to Fridays, 11 to 6 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, noon to 5. You can also order online at zule.ca. We are on Instagram, Facebook at Zule Eats. We are at festivals and events. Carousel of the Nation is coming up, Art in the Park. Next weekend, we're at Denver's Farmhouse. We're having a Butter Tart Festival. It's crazy. It's gonna be fun. Team Goran is having a Mother's Day market. We're gonna be there, which is all on May 9th. And also at the Downtown Farmers Market. We're at the market all season.
Okay.
All season, every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Another thing that I want your listeners to know, if there are any small businesses there, that which is very, very important, and I always tell people, and you did mention it earlier, reaching out for help. You need a community. You need a community around you. You cannot do it. It is your business, but you cannot run it by yourself.
Yeah.
You need people around you. You need help. You need mentors. So you have to make sure that you have your tribe. Sometimes I call it, you have to have your tribe.
100%.
And getting out there and going to networking events and giving back to the community. It is the community that is helping us grow our business, and we have to also give back
Yeah.
by being there, getting out there and doing all these things. So it's very, very important for that community.
I would agree, 100%. Having a tribe around you, having mentors, having people in your corner that you can turn to for help, ask questions, is huge for any business.
It is.
No, I love that, and I'm gonna have to come and try the food at some point.
Yes, you should.
I gotta make some time. My schedule is just crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm sure yours is too, but well, yeah. So final question. So Chef Zule, we always end the podcast asking people, what does success mean to you?
To me, success, what it means to me is making my customer happy. Whatever we do, like you said, I said customer service is paramount. And you mentioned that earlier. It's not about the money. It's taking care of our customers first.
Right.
Building those relationships, the trust. That comes, I did just this week. No, it's a new week, isn't it? Last week.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday. Last week. And this, it blew my mind. So we put a new item out. I brought you some to try. Ooh, we posted it on Facebook. And so we're looking at the comments, and there was a comment that goes, "Start the car now." So we're there the next day, the first day we brought it out. This woman shows up. He goes, "Hi." He goes, "I came to see you guys." "Oh, hi." When was the last time you were here? I don't like to ask people, is this your first time here?
Yeah.
That is not good, because sometimes we forget faces.
Correct.
And you don't want that out. When was the last time? He goes, "That's my first time here. That's my first time in Windsor." I was like, "Oh, where are you from?" Probably thinking the States. No. She was like, "Oh, I'm from London." I go, "Oh, London?" She goes, "Oh, actually Woodstock." I go, "Oh, Woodstock, it's even farther." She goes, and I go, and she goes, "Yeah, I just came to see you guys. I came for that butter tart pie and to wish Jasmine, my daughter, was celebrating her birthday, and to wish her happy birthday." She came all the way from Woodstock.
Wow.
For us.
That's got to feel pretty good. That's pretty cool.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And there's somebody we've never met.
Yeah.
But she says, "I've been following you. I've been watching you guys." So we even built trust long distance without even knowing this person.
Yeah.
So for us, our customers, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Yeah.
So that is success. So that,
taking care of your customer.
Wow. Yeah.
If every customer gets taken care of,
yeah,
you would call the business a success.
Very, very
no
successful.
matter what.
Yes.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where when you get to take care of your customer, they're going to be your number one source of a referral, of business, of anything. Because if you take care of them, they're going to let people know. And word of mouth is better than any kind of paid advertising, marketing, you could name it.
So tell people that it's still the number one.
Yeah.
Still number one.
I love that. I can easily get behind that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
Oh, well, let everybody have fun this summer. Come to see us. We're all over. I mean, we're follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You know where we're going to be, because we're always somewhere.
All right.
somewhere, and everybody have a safe and wonderful summer.
Yeah.
And if you have an idea, don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Small Business Center could help you from idea to whatever. So people should get out there and do. I mean,
Take a chance.
take chance. Take a chance.
I love
Take
that.
a chance. I mean, if you don't, you're just gonna sit in one spot. You got to take a chance. And so some people goes, I said, don't let your age stop you. I tell people, I go, this is a second career for me.
Yeah.
Don't let your age stop you. Whatever it is that you think you want to do, you're passionate about, do it. But you have to be very passionate about it, or else you're gonna get stuck and stop halfway. You should really, really, really love it.
Yeah.
And do it. So
Yeah.
hopefully people get out there and do it.
I love that. Yeah. I love ending on that. That's great. I mean, people need to take action, right?
Yes.
I mean, sitting in one spot is not going to get you anywhere farther.
No.
It's not going to change your life. It's not going to make things better. You got to get out there and do something different.
And do something different.
Right.
I always say, you know what? We were made for more. We were made for more than what we think we're doing. We were made for more. So get out there and do it.
I would 100% agree.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Chef Zule, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day today to chat with me a little bit about what you got going on, how you built your business. And I think there's a lot of little success nuggets in there that people can take from this, hour-long podcast, because more people need to have the excitement and energy that you have and the passion, but they need to go do something about it. Exactly. So I appreciate you coming in and chatting with me.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Everybody, that's another episode of Cracking the Success Vault here with Spectre Group. As always, you can find us on all of your streaming platforms, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, you name it, you know where to find us. Until next time.